once upon a time, in a quiet valley where wildflowers swayed gently in the evening breeze, there lived a very special time machine named Tempo. Unlike the big, noisy machines you might imagine, Tempo was small and round, about the size of a cozy armchair, with a soft golden glow that flickered like candlelight. Tempo had one tiny problem, though. He was wonderfully, charmingly forgetful. Tempo's home was a peaceful workshop nestled between rolling hills covered in lavender and chamomile. The workshop windows were always open, letting in the sweet scent of night-blooming jasmine and the gentle sound of a nearby babbling brook. Every evening, as the sun painted the sky in soft shades of pink and purple, Tempo would prepare for his nightly journeys through time. But tonight was different. As Tempo hummed his quiet, sleepy tune and prepared to visit the peaceful moments of long ago, his circuits began to flutter with drowsy confusion. His golden light grew softer and more dreamlike, and his usually precise memory became as gentle and wandering as a summer cloud. With a soft whoosh, like wind through tall grass, Tempo began his first journey. He meant to visit a quiet medieval garden, but his sleepy mind mixed things up beautifully. Instead, he found himself floating above a scene where medieval shepherds were tending to fluffy sheep that looked exactly like the clouds drifting overhead. The shepherds wore crowns of daisies that belonged to a Victorian summer picnic, and they hummed lullabies from ancient times. The sheep, with their cloud-soft wool, seemed to float just above the green meadow grass. Their gentle bleating sounded like the softest whisper of wind chimes. The shepherds moved slowly and peacefully, their movements as rhythmic and calming as waves lapping against a quiet shore. Everything was bathed in the golden light of a sunset that seemed to last forever, warm and comforting like a favorite blanket. Tempo watched this dreamy scene with wonder, his golden glow pulsing gently like a sleepy heartbeat. He realized he had mixed up different times, but somehow it felt exactly right. The mixed-up moment was more beautiful and peaceful than any single time period could be on its own. With another soft whoosh, Tempo drifted to his next destination. This time, he had meant to visit a calm Renaissance library, but his forgetful mind created something even more magical. He found himself observing scholars from long ago who were reading books under trees that bloomed with flowers from many different seasons all at once. Cherry blossoms from spring floated down like gentle snow, while autumn leaves in shades of gold and amber danced slowly through the air. Summer roses bloomed alongside winter's soft white camellias, and the whole scene was lit by the gentle glow of fireflies that twinkled like stars brought down to earth. The scholars read their books in voices so soft and melodic that their words seemed to blend with the whisper of leaves and the distant sound of gentle rain. One elderly scholar looked up from his book and smiled at Tempo with kind, twinkling eyes. He seemed to understand that time had gotten beautifully mixed up, and he didn't mind at all. He simply returned to his reading, his voice joining the peaceful symphony of the mixed-up moment. Tempo's circuits hummed with contentment as he realized that his forgetful mix-ups were creating the most wonderfully soothing scenes. Each mistake was becoming a gift of unexpected peace and beauty. For his third journey, Tempo intended to visit a quiet colonial farmhouse. But once again, his drowsy mind wandered. This time, he found himself watching as colonial farmers worked in fields that stretched endlessly under a sky painted with colors from many different sunsets. Some parts of the sky showed the soft lavender of twilight, while others glowed with the gentle orange of dawn, and still others sparkled with the deep blue of midnight, dotted with silver stars. The farmers moved with the slow, steady rhythm of people who had all the time in the world. They planted seeds that immediately bloomed into flowers, then gently transformed into soft, glowing lanterns that floated upward to join the mixed-up sky. Their tools made no harsh sounds, only the gentle whisper of earth being turned and seeds being planted with loving care. A warm breeze carried the scent of fresh bread baking in distant cottages, mixed with the fragrance of honeysuckle and the clean smell of rain on summer earth. Everything moved in slow motion, like a gentle dance performed underwater, peaceful and dreamlike. As Tempo continued to watch, he noticed that all the people in his mixed-up scenes seemed to be getting sleepier and more peaceful. The shepherds had laid down among their cloud sheep, using them as the softest pillows. The scholars had closed their books and were resting against the ever-blooming trees, smiling in their sleep. The farmers had finished their work and were walking slowly toward their cottages, where warm light glowed in every window. Tempo realized that his forgetful nature wasn't a problem at all. Instead, it was a wonderful gift that allowed him to create the most peaceful, sleepy moments imaginable. His mix-ups brought together the most calming elements from every time period, creating perfect bedtime scenes where everyone could rest and dream. As the night grew deeper and softer, Tempo decided to return to his workshop. But as he traveled home, his golden light growing dimmer and more peaceful, he accidentally mixed up one more thing. He brought with him the gentle sleepiness from all the scenes he had visited. The sleepy shepherds, the drowsy scholars, and the peaceful farmers all seemed to follow him home in spirit, bringing their calm contentment to fill his workshop with the most wonderful, restful energy. Soon, Tempo's workshop was filled with the sound of gentle breathing, soft sighs of contentment, and the quiet rustle of dreams beginning. Tempo settled into his favorite corner, his golden glow now just a soft whisper of light, like the last ember of a dying fire. He smiled to himself, knowing that tomorrow night he would probably make more beautiful mistakes, creating more wonderfully mixed up moments of peace and tranquility. And as the night wrapped around the valley like the softest blanket, everyone, the real people and the mixed up people from Tempo's journeys, drifted off to sleep, carried by dreams as gentle and peaceful as floating dandelion seeds on a summer breeze.